Hey, it's Nita and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Nita Danielle, and on this channel we focus on fashion, beauty, lifestyle, motherhood, and everything in between. So if you enjoy those topics, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. So happy new year to all of my girls out there. First video of the new year, and I'm so excited to share with you guys today's Q&A. If you are subscribed to the text community, I did ask you guys and over in the community tab if you had any Q&A questions or suggestions for videos for the new year, and you guys came through. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and hop into the Q&A and first video of 2024. I'm so excited. All right, y'all. So for starters, I already know that my lashes look a dang fool. I have been sick for the past few weeks. I don't know what I had. It wasn't COVID. I hear that they say there's a new strain of the flu that's going around, so I think I had that. I don't know, but it was a mess. So my lashes look a fool because I was sneezing, eyes watering, body aches, and I haven't been able to get them done. So I'm just now feeling better. And it's also my first time putting on makeup in probably like 2 weeks. So let's go ahead and get started and hop into the Q&A. So since this is more of a Q&A, I will have the links to everything that I'm using on my face in the description box down below. I'll have the links, I'll have the name of the product, the shade, and all of that kind of stuff, because I won't be discussing it, so I can move through this because I need to get to church on time because I'm serving today. So let's get started. All right, so I'm going to answer a few, Jesus, we already starting off a little rocky. I haven't done a makeup video in a very long time. We already starting off a little rocky, but I'm gonna go ahead and start off answering some of the questions from the community tab because they are a bit easier, and then I'll get into some of the ones from the text community because y'all really went in. So first question are, a lot of people asked about this. What are some of the goals that you want to accomplish this year, both personally and professionally? And she also asked the most memorable achievement for this year or 2023. So, in all honesty, I haven't really sat down to go through my goals and stuff because I came into the new year sick and I was just like, so I haven't really thought about it. I'm definitely thankful for growth. And when you say my most memorable achievement this year, of course, aside from buying the house, I think, and I don't know if it's an achievement for me. It's the fact that I have a team, I have help. It's a memorable achievement for me because it's something I believed for a very long time. In addition to being invited on my first outing with Walmart. You guys know towards the end of last year, I was invited to New York for a dinner with Walmart, and I've worked with them for a very long time consistently. And so yeah, that, and I will say my first year-long partnership was last year from Walmart. So I'm so excited and I'm prayerful to get another year-long partnership. But that probably professionally was my most memorable achievement, is to get a year-long partnership. Content creators, we love partnerships that are long-term because, you know, it's more secure money if you can have secure money in this industry. And, you know, it just shows that the brand really enjoys working with you. And I enjoy working with Walmart. So that I think will be my most memorable achievement. Okay, it says, you have an eye for beautiful things. Would you consider having a clothing line? No. First of all, thank you. Thank you so much. But no, I would not consider having a clothing line. I do not care to have a clothing line because any kind of product-based business is extremely expensive and extremely time consuming. You guys know or should know, before this, I did hair. So I also sold hair and I made and sold wigs. And it's very expensive to keep product in stock. Like hair was extremely expensive, like to get, like after the pandemic. Before the pandemic, prices were decent, but after pandemic, wholesale prices for extensions shot up. And in addition to all things that come from overseas, right? And most of our clothing comes from overseas. And even if you get it in the States, it's going to be even more expensive. So not only is it an extremely expensive business to get into, I personally just don't have a desire to do that. There's a lot of logistics that come with, you know, just shipping and having product in stock. If you're talking about clothing, you have to have multiple sizes in stock. And then, you know, taking pictures all the time and that kind of content on top. Like, that's just something that I just don't care to do. I feel like in order for me to have any kind of business, but specifically a tangible product-based business, you really have to have a heart for that because it is a lot of work. And I just don't care to do it. So it would be something It's not something that I care to do. Let me do my eyebrows off camera because I can't focus and talk to y'all. I'm gonna come right back. So, a few influencer questions. Someone said, do you think YouTube is too saturated for new creators or existing creators wanting to revamp their existing small channels? The answer is no. I will never say that any industry is too saturated for anything. I mean, it is 2023. Everyone wants to be a content creator, or even if you don't want to be a content creator, most people have some type of business where they are producing content to promote said business. So even if you're trying to be like a content creator like beauty lifestyle, or if you're creating content to promote whatever product or service you're selling, these days in 2024, everyone is producing some type of content on social media. It can never be too saturated, you know? It's the modern day TV, really. So no. I mean, it's just like saying, I'm not going to go to school to be a lawyer because there's so many law firms, or I'm not going to go to school to be a doctor because there's already a lot of doctors, or nobody says, oh, I don't want to go be a teacher because, you know, everybody's already teaching. Like, again, it's 2024. There's nothing that you're going to do that has not been done. The difference is no one can do it like you. So, yeah, no, it's not too saturated. I will say YouTube is a long game. YouTube is not something that you get on and feel like, oh, I'm gonna make 3 videos and I'm gonna have 1 million followers. No, that's just not how YouTube works. You know, some of the shorter form platforms, you can scale and grow quicker than YouTube. YouTube is a very slow brew, and people have to be okay with that. But I also just feel like in general, again, in 2024 and moving forward, social media is not a job that you get into thinking that you're going to have quick success. There are very few people that do that. That time is kind of come and gone where people blow up overnight. And even if you do, I feel like it's not sustainable, because if you blow up overnight, you have not built that muscle to know how to consistently create content that your audience wants to see. So I say all of that to say, no, it's not too saturated. And you know, if you want to get into content creating or revamp your existing channel, you should absolutely do so. But just know, like, you're going to have to be in it for the long haul. And if you are looking to create any kind of business these days, you're going to have to know that it's going to take time and it's going to take some skin in the game. So, yeah. All right, so now we're going to get into like the heavy duty questions from the text community. And the first question is, a young lady asked for life advice for a woman approaching 30. First of all, thank you for asking. Thank you for, you know, thinking enough of me to ask me my opinion. But also that's hard for me to do, being that I don't know, you gave, you know, no context to kind of, you know, where you are at this point in life. So what I will say is this. First, please know that life does not end at 30. I don't know what, dang it, hold on. All right, so I don't know who taught us or told us that like at 30, you're just supposed to have your whole life figured out, and you know, 30 is the new 60. Like, no. Really, in my opinion, at 30, you're just now getting into your grown woman era. You're just now kind of figuring out who you are, what you like, what you don't like, what you want, what you don't want. I know when I was approaching 30, I remember thinking, man, when I was in like high school and college, I used to think that I wanted 3 girls. Okay. But I wanted to be married with my 3 kids by like 25. Girl, what kind of, was it crack? Like what was wrong with me? Why did I want that at 25? Girl, no. I am so glad that I got to live my life and kick it in my 20s. And I remember, so I got pregnant at 30. And I remember certain people would be like, oh, how does it feel to be pregnant later in life? And I was like, I don't feel like this is later in life. I'm 30, you know? So I say all that to say, life does not end at 30. So please don't think like, oh my God, I'm just supposed to have it all together and life is over and I'm just, I got 1 foot in the grave. Like, girl, stop. But I would also say, just to take the time to truly ask yourself, what do I want for my life? I feel like these days, especially with social media, you have so many people amplifying their voice, and this is what you need to do by 30, and this is what you should have by 35, and you need to do this, and you gotta do this. Girl, what do you want? At the end of the day, I'm not living your life, and none of these other people who have something to say are living your life. You are living your life, and whatever decisions you make, you have to live with them every day. Not me and nobody else. So I would just say, to really just take some time to ask yourself, what kind of life, what is my dream life? What do I desire for my life? Do I want to keep going down this career path that I'm going down? Do I feel like this serves me? Do I enjoy this type of work? Do I feel like if you don't have kids, do I want kids? Do I think I want to be a mother? If you're not married, do I think I want to be married? Do I want to prioritize dating a little bit more? Do I how is my friend circle? Do I feel like I want to kind of get out and, meet some new people? How's my relationship with God? Like, just ask yourself about all areas of life, not just work, not just relationships, spiritually, health wise. How am I health wise? Do I need to prioritize my health a little bit? Do I feel like I'm doing good here? Am I prioritizing one part of my life over the other? Because I personally feel like I've learned that balance matters. Prioritizing or making space for all areas of your life to have a full, whole life. I will say in my 20s, I spent a lot of time working. And I lived too. I partied hard because I told y'all the part of the reason I got in debt is because I worked hard and I partied harder. It's like I worked to party. I say party. I traveled a lot and stuff like that. But baby, as soon as I got the money, I spent it. Okay, because I was living. But yeah, that's the advice that I would give is to really sit down and ask yourself. Hold on, I'm sorry. Okay, I feel like it was like super bright, so I kind of turned down the. Yeah, this looks much better. Sorry. But anyway, I would just say to ask yourself, what type of life do I want to live? And what steps do I need to take to create this type of life, to support this type of life? That's my biggest advice. Sit down, see where you want to go, and make a plan and put some actionable steps in place to produce the life that you want. All right, so next question. All right, so we're going to go to the text community here. All right, so from the text community, Keisha Young says, "Hi, Anita. I'm starting my financial freedom journey. I remembered you said you went through this process some time ago. I wanted to know if you had any advice to those who are starting their journey, some do's or don'ts, or any takeaways you learned through the process. My biggest fear is not sticking to my monthly budget." Hey, girl, hey. So the first part, well, for those of you guys who don't know or didn't see, because I think I just mentioned this in a vlog, I have not created any dedicated content around my debt-free journey. But yes, in 2018, I started my debt-free journey. It was at that time I was, a new mom. Jada was born in 2017. And then I was a newly single mom. So I was kind of looking at all of my bills and trying to figure out why I made really good money, but I didn't see the money. And it was because my debt payments were almost the exact same as like my monthly expenses. So I was like, ooh, I need to get out of debt. So I started my debt-free journey. It started in 2018, and I paid off quite a bit of debt. I paid off everything with the exception of my student loans in 2020, right before the pandemic hit and the salon closed down. I used to do hair before I did this full time. So I paid off my car, I want to say February of 2020, and March or April of 2020, the shop was closed. And that was like the biggest blessing. The biggest blessing was like, just kind of getting out of debt. Anyway, sharing all that just to share a little background about that. And later on, once I paid off my student loans, I shared that in a vlog. So there's that. But the first question was, you asked if there are any advice to those who are starting their journey, do's and don'ts. The only do's that I have personally is you do want to sit down and list out your debts, how much you owe to who you owe it to, the due dates of all of your debts. You just kind of want to, you want to get everything in front of you because you just want to see, where am I? And like I said, when I made that, because I wasn't sitting down to get out of debt at the time. I was really just trying to figure out, where is my money going? I make this money, but I don't see it. And when I sat down and, like I said, I listed out my debt payments, and I was like, oh, this is where the money is going, to all of this doggone debt. So that would be the first thing. Sit down, list out all of your expenses, and then you can kind of, do one side for your debt, one side for living expenses. Of course, living expenses would be your rent or your mortgage, your lights, your water, cell phone bill, gas, car note, car insurance, health insurance, life insurance, all of those things. And then debts would be any credit card debt, any recurring payments on anything. I had a few credit cards. I had just purchased a new sofa that I was paying on. I had my student loan payments, and I had a tax bill that I was paying on. Entrepreneur problems. So I think I feel like that was the gist of it. I had quite a bit of credit card debt. So, and then like I said, student loans, and I had my car note. That's debt. So, yeah, you want to sit down and do that just to get a picture of where you are. And then make a plan. See if you can stop eating out on Uber Eats or turn your Netflix off or whatever to allocate that money to put towards debt. So what I did was, at the time, like I said, I did hair. That's actually when I started making wigs. So I actually started making wigs when I went on maternity leave, because as a stylist, I didn't get paid maternity leave. So I started pushing my wig business more, and I would stay up at night making wigs. So I had clients during the day. I would get my baby, come home, put her to sleep, and I would stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning making wigs. And that's the extra money that I made to get out of debt. So that money, the money that I made from wigs, is what I used to get out of debt. The money that I made doing hair during the day was the money that I used to continue to, pay bills and stuff like that. So I say all that to say, you kind of want to figure out what you can do to make additional money, or what you can cut out to put that money towards your debt. I personally utilized Dave Ramsey's debt snowball method. It was just the easiest for me. I also know that there are people who utilize the avalanche method. I just didn't care for that. If you don't know what that is, just Google. And yeah, so the do's would be list out your debt, figure out your plan to get out of debt, your plan to attack it. Another thing that I would do is listen to people on Dave Ramsey do the debt-free scream. I think that he had a podcast or something, or maybe it was a YouTube channel. I would listen to people come do their debt-free scream because it helped me to kind of stay motivated. I didn't go do a debt-free scream, but it just helped motivate me, like hearing other people and their stories, because there were people who had triple, quadruple the amount of debt that I had. And there were both married and single people who talked about their debt-free journeys. And that was just inspiring to me to hear as I was going through that process. And so yeah, I guess I don't necessarily have do's and don'ts, because I feel like that's a personal journey that you have to figure out what works for you. But that's pretty much what it is. You just have to write it out to see where you are, make a plan, and stick to that plan. And just know that the cutbacks that you're making, it's a means to an end. It was hard for me to not spend that extra money. Like, I wanted to go ball out. I wanted to go, do some things, hang out with my friends. Now, I will say I didn't cut out all of my life, but I definitely scaled back a lot. And thankfully, during that time, I was dating a lot. So, I didn't really pay for a lot. Like, when I went out, I tried to go out with this young man because I'm paying off debt. So yeah, like I said, just remember that the cutbacks that you're making during that time is just a means to an end. It's not forever. And remember your why. And my why for wanting to get out of debt was mostly because of my daughter. I think I told y'all at that time, when I started getting out of debt, Jada wasn't even one. And I just knew that I wanted to give her a better life, a different life than what I had growing up. And I knew that I could do it. Because like I said, I'm looking at my money, like, you make decent money. Why don't you see it? Because of the debt. So yeah. And then as far as any takeaways, it taught me that I did not want to get back into debt. Because girl, like, getting out of debt is hard. Getting out of debt is hard. Getting out of debt is hard. The takeaway is that I don't want to get back in debt. So I have my credit cards and stuff. I'm not a Dave Ramsey diehard person. I don't believe everything he says. I just use his baby steps to like get out of debt, and I still use them to like as far as like saving is concerned, saving for my future, retirement, stuff like that. But I'm not a diehard Dave Ramsey fan. I do believe that your credit score matters. I do have credit cards. I pay them off every month. I do not carry a balance, and I don't charge what I cannot afford to pay off. I use my credit cards for points and stuff like that. So yeah, my biggest takeaway was just that I never want to get in debt again. Of course, now I am not debt free. I do have my mortgage, and I also have my car note. If you watch my vlogs, you know that my car died on me during the process of me looking for a house. So I did end up purchasing a car before my house, which is not recommended, but I did it and it was fine. But that's my story. So yeah, I will be paying off my car this year, and then it'll just be the house. And in Jesus' name, I would love to pay my house off in 15 years. So yeah, because I want to be debt free. I don't like debt. I don't want to carry debt. I like being debt free. And that's my takeaway. Our next question is from Tracy. She says, "Hey Nita, happy holidays. Hey girl, hey. I would like you to discuss time management with work and Jada." It's Jada. "Will you be in Mexico again? I look forward to listening to you, and God bless you always." Well, God bless you as well. I answered the first part. I did go back to Mexico for my solo trip, and I came back sick. I did vlog, so you guys will see that at some point. As far as time management with work and Jada, I work during the day. This is my full-time job. So I work during the day. And when Jada gets home, I am typically done working. If I do have to still work, Jada now is 6, so she can be self-sufficient while I finish up work. But 90 to 95% of the time, I'm done working by the time Jada gets out of school and gets home, because I set my life up that way. I mean, my management team everybody know when Jada gets home, I'm not working. Now, when I say I'm not working, I may have to answer questions and stuff like that. But as far as like creating content, I don't do that. If I have to edit some content, I typically would do that when she goes to sleep or like right before dinner. So yeah, I say all of that to say, as far as time management, I use time blocks. Of course, I didn't make that. I don't know where they came from, but if you look up any time management videos or anything like that, a lot of people talk about time blocking. And so I have blocks of time. I get up before her in the morning. I spend time with God, get myself together, stuff like that. Then I, have time with her, get her together, take her to school. I come back. Now I work out. That's a new thing. So I work out for an hour, take a shower, get myself together, hop into work mode. We create, do whatever we do. I have a hard cutoff of 2:30, 3 o'clock at the absolute latest, so that I can shoot over to get her from school. She has extracurriculars. Girl, life. So it's a juggling act, but that's time management. I work, during the day like everybody else. My job is just a little different. But I hope it helps. But that's how I manage time, because, like I said, this is my full-time job. So I just have my strict schedule for working during these hours and after hours. If I'm doing anything work related, it's usually engaging with you guys, or it's editing, because I edit my short form content for Instagram and YouTube. I'm sorry, Instagram and TikTok myself. And I do usually do that at night. All right, next question is from Livy. Hey girl, hey. It says, "Nita, BFF in my head, I'd like to know how you manage the finances you earn from this job as an influencer. Do you put a certain percentage back into the pot for purchasing the items? Do you pay yourself a salary? If this is not too personal, I'd like to know. Happy holidays." Well, hey girl, hey, hey BFF, hey bestie, okay? And I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Livy, I think. I am an employee of my business. So I get a check. Like, I have a W-2 and everything from the business, right? Now, that just happened in 2023. Previous to 2023, I still had a separate business account, because I've always had a business. So the business money that the business makes, yes, I do take a salary. I've always taken a salary from the business. It is not the same. It does not go into the same pot. They have always been two separate pots. Shanita, the woman, has her accounts. My business has its accounts. It has a checking account, which all of my money from brand deals and affiliates and stuff comes into. And then from there, we also have a savings account where I set aside money for taxes and just a savings in case, anything was to occur. And then from there, like I said, I'm paid and everyone is paid from the business. So yes, as far as the salary, yes, I do have an actual salary now that I am paid from the business. I get a check, taxes are taken out of my check and all that good stuff. But like I said before, I would literally just make a Zelle transfer from the business to myself, and it was just considered under tax umbrella. It's just called withdrawals, I believe. I am not a tax professional. I have a tax professional to do those things. Praise God for her. But yeah. So that's that. And as far as a certain percentage put back into the pot, well, the pot is already the pot. So again, the business account has expenses, and there is an expense amount for clothing, because this is my job. So yes, there is an expense amount for clothing. There's an expense amount it's called supplies. Supplies for me is clothes. It is clothes, it is makeup, it is shoes. Hold on. Sorry, I set an alarm so I can know like when I need to wrap it up to be at church on time. So what was I saying? So yes, the business has an allotted amount every month for supplies. Like I said, for this job legally, it is okay for me to set aside coins to purchase clothing or makeup or shoes or whatever I need for campaigns, because sometimes depending on the campaign, so I'll use Walmart for an example. I'm responsible for getting my own product. And then there are certain companies where they will send me the product. And it could be the clothing, it could be the phone, it could be whatever. And from that supply money, I will purchase the clothing that I use for hauls. I will purchase the shoes that I need. I will purchase, if I need props, flowers, food, containers, whatever I need to create content. That does come from the supply budget that we set aside every month for the business. So yes. So yeah, how do I manage the finances from the job? The business money has always been separate. It will always be separate. It's always been separate. And I think maybe I always had that mindset because I've always been a business owner. Again, I did hair before this. And even when I was a hairstylist, I had a business account. The business money, the hair money, all of that was separate. So even when I made money, I think I told y'all I sold wigs and I sold extensions. I had to set aside money to re-up on more extensions, on more supplies for the salon. Shampoo, conditioner, curling iron broke, the dryer broke. Those things did happen. And I had to have money to buy those things. I couldn't say, oh, somebody coming to get their hair done and the flat iron don't work. I can't be like, oh, well, I got to wait till, no, I had to have the money to go buy another flat iron, because those things did happen. So I was already trained, I think, to do that. So it wasn't really a learning curve to figure out how to manage finances as much. It's a little bit different, but I've always had a separate business account, and I've always, kept reserve in the account in case things happen. It's just before it was, different supplies than it is for this job. So I hope that answered the question. All right, so Meredith asked, she said, hey girl, would love to see info on shapewear. Mine does not snatch, but only spreads it out, giving me an unflattering shape like a box, depending on what I'm wearing. There were quite a few questions about shapewear. I've done a shapewear video talking about the different types of shapewear, how to find the shapewear for you. I will link it down below or put a card here if I can. If not, I will have it in the description box down below. I may do an updated shapewear video, but I wear the same shapewear all the time. It's either the Spanx Encore Shaper, Vanity Fair, which is just like some smoothing briefs that I wear. Like I'm wearing them today because I don't need shapewear, but when I wear dresses, I do like something just to kind of smooth my cellulite a little bit and to help my thighs, not rub together. Excuse me. If it's not those two, it is also, I can't think of the name right now. I'll link them down below, and I will also link the shapewear video. And because there are so many questions, it's just telling me that I need to do an updated video, so I will do that for you guys. All right, so Britt says, hey girl, hey. She asked a few questions that I've answered. One of them was, what is your favorite brand of jeans? Now, my favorite brand of jeans used to be Express, which y'all know Express then tripped out and stopped carrying size 18s. So I haven't come across a favorite brand per se. There are just certain jeans that I enjoy. Like I have a pair from Old Navy that I love. I have a pair from Abercrombie that I love. I have a pair from Amazon that I love. I have a pair from Target. So I don't have a brand per se. There are just certain types of jeans that I enjoy. But yeah, Express used to be my favorite, but we don't like them anymore. And then she says, do you like perfume? If so, what is your favorite fragrance? My all-time favorite fragrance is YSL Libre Intense. But I've been getting into some new things. So right now, like today, I'm actually wearing Casablanca, which is a fragrance from Amazon. It's an Arabic fragrance. It smells amazing. It does remind me of MFK Gentle Fluidity Gold, which I do have and love. But I'm wearing that today. I do like it. Also, my new favorite is it's from Lyra. I can't remember the name, but I will pop up a picture of the bottle on the screen. Y'all, that smells so good. It smells like chocolate. But when you first spread, it has like an orange note to it. It's so beautiful. Now, I'm not a fragrance head. I'm not a girl who knows like all the notes and all that. I just like what I like. So since it's winter right now, most fragrances that I do enjoy are more suitable for the winter time. So I am having a ball right now. But that is my current favorite fragrance. I've also really been loving Satin Mood Oud by... There's others. I'll put them down below because I'm drawing a blank. But I have a decent collection of fragrances. But those, I think, will be my top favorites right now. Oh, there's one that I love, y'all. It smells like a sugar cookie, but like a toasted sugar cookie. It has like a toasted, I want to say burnt, but it doesn't smell burnt. It smells, you know how you toast the marshmallow or you toast a sugar cookie? Like that, like a that kind of scent. It's by Escapade. I got a sample when I went to the scent room and I got the Lyra fragrance. They gave me a sample of that because I wanted it and I was like, I don't know if I'll wear it. Y'all, I have wore that out. It lasts so long. It's called Escapade something and it smells amazing. And I actually want to go buy that this weekend. It's Sunday. I don't know. I want to go get it ASAP if they still have it because she said they only had a few bottles left. I don't know. That smells amazing. It lasts all day and I love it. So those are my fragrances. Brenda Lynn Rogers says, what is your biggest lesson from 2023 professionally and personally? Ooh, 2023 was a stretching seat. Girl, finish your makeup. 2023 was a season of stretching and growth. Professionally, I will say, I told you guys I have a team. I pray for a team. And when I say a team, that just means people to help. There's two people outside of management, right? And I will say leadership was something that I had to grow to this year because, managing people is work. And so, I'm still the leader. I'm the person who has to be responsible for things. And I feel like your team will only be as effective and as good as the leadership that they have. And that's just something I had to learn this year. So I will say that professionally, just that part, better management of finances and stuff like that. Because, things are just different in this industry. I think I will say that also just learning that it's okay to change my mind. Again, because social media is still a newer industry, and also there's no right or wrong, there's no ABC 1, 2, 3 in this job. I have to be okay with growing and figuring it out and learning. And it's okay to say no, or okay, this no longer serves me. And I thought I wanted to do this, but I don't anymore. That's okay. As far as personally, I would just say realizing that life is short. Not that I didn't realize it before. You guys know I've experienced, or you, if you don't know, my grandmother passed earlier this. I was gonna say earlier this year. My grandmother passed towards the end of last year, and just in general, I have lost a lot of people in my family. A lot being about a handful, and it just really makes you remember the important things of life. So I will say also, I have had to learn and remember to that not to run so hard in my business that I neglect other areas of my life. And I already knew that before and I was working on it before, but this year it really showed me. And in that, I am thankful for my team because it is only because of them that certain times that the business went on, because I was out of it, because I was just consumed with other things that were happening in my life, and rightfully so. Like they were things that really just kind of knocked me out emotionally. And I needed my team to be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna post this. Like, they were the reason that things kept going. So shout out to them, and shout out to Miss Darlene, because she is, oh my gosh, she's just such, Miss Darlene is, so Miss Darlene is supposed to be my financial advisor, but she's really like a business coach slash life coach. She is just a woman with a lot of wisdom. And so I remember when I first sat down to talk with her at the beginning of last year, she said, well, it sounds like your business is running you instead of you running the business. And I was like, yeah. And so anyway, she was just very instrumental in helping me to put certain systems in place, because life did happen a lot in 2023 and I was only able to take a step away. And I don't think you guys, well, probably on YouTube y'all saw, but that don't have nothing to do with the life that was it, girl, whatever. But things still ran because I had a team in place and because they were equipped to do what they needed to do. So those are the lessons, girl. Take it how you want. Joelle says, question, how are you enjoying home ownership? I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's very uneventful these days. I don't have any I don't have any complaints, but I don't have any like, I've been enjoying the fact that I can host my family, and Jada has her space, and I've been enjoying kind of decorating. I had to pull back because I mean it is expensive, honey, but yeah, I've been enjoying it. Speaking of, someone did ask about me doing a dedicated Q&A or video about home ownership as a single mom, and I will do that for you guys. Again, I will say, of course, my perspective always comes from being a business owner. So I don't have a W-2. I have it now for 2023. But before that, when I bought my house, I didn't have W-2. So my financial proof was different. I will say that. But outside of that, absolutely, I'm always happy to help, with that. So I will do a dedicated Q&A about that. Someone did ask, I don't remember who it was, but I will absolutely share that with you guys. Someone asked, Christine, hey girl, she said, how do I shop for my style and not according to my, it just said according to my with a period. It said just wants to look good no matter what I wear. So how do I shop for my style, not according to my, I don't know, sis. Please, if you're seeing this, leave your question down below and I'll answer it because I don't know what word should go there. I'm so sorry. All right, Shamaya says, let's talk about dating. I've seen videos of people doing their 2023 dating roundup. Examples are best date this year, worst date, how many first, second, and third dates did you make it on? Oh, this is cool. Oh, and I would also love to see another video series with you, Ashley, and Chi Chi, and more luxury shopping videos. Wow. Okay, girl. Hey, thank you. So to answer the dating one really quickly, examples of the best and worst dates of 2023. I didn't. The best date that I went on was probably the most simple date. We went to Dave and Buster's and we had a great time. I always have a good time with stuff like that. So I enjoy like active dates where you can kind of like, like non-dinner dates. I enjoy dinner dates. I enjoy all the dates, but that probably was the most fun date because I hadn't been to Dave and Buster's in a while, so it was fun to just kind of like do fun things like that. As far as worst dates, I didn't have a bad date this year, although I did not go on a ton of dates this year. I think I told y'all this year kind of slapped me in the face a little bit. So dating was not a priority. I did date. I went on a few dates, and then also this year I did take a break from dating because I was just over it. I didn't have a worst date. I didn't really have a bad date. There were just guys that I just did not gel with, didn't mesh with for whatever reason. If you let men talk, which thankfully I've come across quite a few men that like to talk, and they be like, "You're so easy to talk to." I'm just letting you run your mouth because I want to know what's in your heart. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what kind of guy you are. And if you let them talk long enough, they will show you. They will tell you. So I will say there was an experience. This guy that I had going on, we had only gone on one date. And we had the second date set up. He wanted to go out on a particular weekend that Jada was supposed to be at home. So I was like, oh, I can't this weekend. My baby will be home. And so we had a plan to go on a date like during the week. I think like a Monday, because usually I don't work on Mondays, like as far as in person. So I think we had plans to do something on that Monday. So anyway, he called me over the weekend. Jada ended up being gone. She was gone with her grandparents. And so he called like, hey, what y'all doing? I was like, oh, it's just me. My baby's going to grandparents. And I was actually going to the liquor store to get some stuff to make a lemon drop. And so he was like, oh, all right, you kid free, you getting some stuff. I'll get some food and come over. And I was like, ha ha. Mind you, I'd only known this guy for about a week. When I say about a week, I think we had known each other for between 5 to 7 days. Like I said, we went on our first date within a few days of knowing each other. He was very, he was a date guy. Like, let's go out. I want to see you. And that was cool. But yeah, we went out. And so, like I said, he said that and I kind of laughed it off because I'm like, I know you really don't think you about to come to my house. I haven't known you for even a week. Like, I genuinely don't know you. He said that and I just kind of laughed it off because I really didn't think he was serious. I was like, oh, haha, yeah, that'll be cool, And he kept going on and on. And I'm like, oh, he's serious. And I was like, well, no, I don't know you well enough to invite you over to my home, but no, mm-mm. And I don't remember how I said it, but it was, it was like, oh, well, no. And I take that back. I was like, oh, you serious, huh? And he was like, yeah, I can bring some food. And I was like, well, first I already ate, which I did. And I was like, but second, I don't know you like that to invite you to my home. And he was like, oh, what? Like, he sounded offended. And I said, well, I'm a single woman living alone. I said, I'm also, I'm a single mom. Like, I just don't allow everyone over to my house. I just don't think that's smart or safe, being that we haven't even known each other a week yet. So I don't feel comfortable inviting you over to my home. I said, in addition to the fact, this is where my daughter lives, and I live in a house. Like, I can't, if you are, let's say you were crazy or something, or like a stalker, I can't just up and move. Like, I have a mortgage here, so I have to be, mindful about who I bring to my space, because if something goes left, we can't pack up and just leave here. We live here. We're going to be here. So, and again, I didn't say it that comical, but I wasn't mean or rude either. And I also felt like, sir, you in your mid-40s. Why should I have to even be explaining it to you? But I said, okay, whatever. So I just told him, and he kind of laughed a little bit, like, oh, it's funny. At that point, I was done. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Because I don't know what you got going, but I want no parts. And so he was just like, oh, well, I would never tell you that. Like, you can come to my house. I think you okay. I trust you. And I said, well, that's cool. I said, but again, I don't know you like that. So I don't want to come to your house either. Because again, I don't know you like that. I don't know you from a man on the moon. And anyway, so I went on, got off the phone, and when I tell you that man has been blowing up my phone, sir, I'm good on you. I don't want to talk to you. We have nothing to talk about. Like, it was, first of all, it was just the fact that I had to explain why you're not coming to my home after I've only known you for a week. And I mean, different people do different things, but I personally just feel like I shouldn't even have to explain it. I feel like men are going to test you and try you. But once I tell you that's not what's going on, it should have been, at that point, it should have been fine. First of all, there's nothing funny about what I said. But second of all, it's like, why? Like, anyway. And then I think that was what made it worse. Like, I was already like, I'm having to explain this to you. And you and your, you 43, 44. And then also, I tell you and you don't laugh. It's not funny at all. But, okay, whatever. Like, you just not for me. You very immature. So that was kind of like a worse situation. And I don't think that's horrible. So, yeah, I haven't had a whole lot of worse or best dates. But I would say that would be, if I had to give a best or worst situation, that would be it. And I don't think that's bad. So I will say, I think I told you guys I am back in these dating streets. So I do plan to try to prioritize dating in 2024. So we may have a few more story times. Oh, and then she also mentioned more luxury shopping videos. I'm glad that you would like to see it. I've thought about, first of all, let me say this. I have never, will never be, and I don't buy enough luxury to be a luxury influencer. That's not something I'm trying to do. Don't want to do it. Don't care to do it. They ain't never been my thing. And even the luxury that I've shared, it's not for that intent. It's genuinely just giving. I've shared luxury wanting to give my opinion from a girl who has never been able to afford it, don't know nothing about it. I've never worked in retail, because I feel like a lot of the girls that I see that do luxury content, they've either worked in the retail space, they're very knowledgeable about the background and the history of it, and they're just very well versed in luxury. I'm not that girl. So I've always tried to give the perspective of, if you're someone who is newer to be able to afford luxury, or if you're saving for this, let me give you the perspective of just a regular girl who has saved to buy this thing, not like an expert opinion. However, I did find that when I did those videos, I think because I do most what I share is more affordable content. Also, I have shared a little bit of my journey of being debt free and how, just my past of like financial trauma and stuff like that. It's like people are like, well, you're getting back in debt and and I'm like, do you really think, as hard as I work to get out of debt, that I'm going to go back into debt behind a bag for social media, especially being that my content, my platform is not built on luxury, and I'm not trying to make it be. So it's like, what? Anyway. So because of that reason, I'm like, don't worry about it. So, yeah, I appreciate the fact that you appreciated it, but I won't be doing dedicated luxury content. I'm just at the point where now, if you see it, you see it. So you'll see it when you see it. And if I do show something that I've purchased, it'll probably just be in a vlog or something like that. So, yeah. All right, you guys, so I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I want to apologize in advance for the changes in lighting and everything. I was trying to get this video done before church. I literally had an hour to knock this out. I am running a little bit behind, but I want to go ahead and get this filmed for you guys. I wanted to do it before, but like I said, I've been sick, so trying to hop back on it and get back to it. So I apologize in advance if the lighting changed and stuff like that, because I realized my camera settings were a little wonky before, but I didn't realize it because I was trying to finish the video and running my mouth, doing my makeup, and I'm out of practice because it's been a while since I've sat down to do a sit down makeup video with y'all. So I'm a little rusty, but y'all asked for makeup, so we're gonna do some of that this year. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, I will have the links to the products and the, like the names of the products and all of that in the description box down below, as well as some of the videos that I did mention to you guys in today's video, like shapewear and stuff. That will be linked down below for you guys. Thank you so much for your support and for rocking with me. And yeah, I'm excited for 2024, and I hope that you guys have an amazing and blessed year as well. See you in the next one. Bye, girl.